I have some chilling and dangerous breaking news for you. Donald Trump just wrapped up a speech in front of the Justice Department and just said the quiet part out loud. In front of the Justice Department, he publicly confirmed our worst fears about his assault on the First Amendment. And I really do believe if he's able to follow through on, as he's already trying to, we've talked about that extensively with CBS, the FCC investigations into other liberal outlets, etc. But if he's able to fully follow through on the rhetoric you're going to hear right here, it could go down in history as one of the most destructive administrations for the First Amendment in American history. And he's just admitting. He's saying that CNN and MSNBC are illegal, among other things. Take a look at this. If you appreciate these breaking news updates, please do click the subscribe button. Quite the 4 years we're in for.
Can't allow yourselves to be deflected. You just can't let it happen. You have such a higher calling. And I believe that CNN and MSDNC, who literally write 97.6% bad about me, are political arms of the Democrat Party. And in my opinion, they're really corrupt and they're illegal. What they do is illegal. It makes no difference how big a victory I had. I can have the biggest victory.
They are illegal, is the quote. I had so many people during the campaign when I would say, hey, Trump posted that the government should come down hard on MSNBC. Surely any advocates of the First Amendment would be totally against him just with that alone. And they said, that's hyperbolic. Oh, he doesn't mean it. Come on. Once he becomes president, he'll be presidential, right? And then he's openly saying CNN, not randomly, which would be bad, but he's saying it in front of the law enforcement people that their existence, because they criticize him. He said it. He said because they criticize him 90+%, which I don't know how they find the other 3-ish% that he's referencing of positive stories, but because they dare to criticize him, it's illegal. Which is the same reason he's harassing CBS, same reason the FCC's diving into different liberal outlets. And remember that he seized unprecedented control of CBS. Look at this face, by the way, this next clip. Goodness gracious. But he also seems to assert here that criticizing Eileen Cannon, the judge that he appointed who helped to get him off of those classified documents charges, that criticizing her is illegal.
And Emil know this very well. We had an amazing judge in Florida, and her name is Eileen Cannon, and I didn't know her. I still don't know her. I don't believe I ever spoke to her, even during the trial. But I did appoint her, federal judge.
Sorry, before we get to the notable part, you don't know anything about the people that you appoint? That's concerning.
And these fake lawyers, these horrible human beings, were hitting her so hard, public relations-wise. They were playing the ref. I don't think it's legal. I don't think it's legal. They might.
I don't think it's legal that people were criticizing her, quote unquote, hitting her hard. That was before he went on to say, can we just watch? We have a lot through the speech, so this might end up being long, but this is a history-making moment as he's showing it's not just rhetoric through his actions that we've been covering very closely, but he proclaimed in his inauguration speech and in one of his other recent speeches, his joint session of Congress speech, he said, we're bringing back free speech. What does that mean? We're bringing back the censoring of speech to his liking.
Can't allow yourselves to be deflected. You just can't let it happen. You have such a higher calling. And I believe that CNN and MSDNC, who literally write 97.6% bad about me, are political arms of the Democrat Party. And in my opinion, they're really corrupt and they're illegal. What they do is illegal.
He's saying in front of the Justice Department. The only reason I'm not red in the face and shouting right now is because I'm desperately trying to deliver this information to you in a way that doesn't give you a heart attack. But this is it. This is authoritarian. That he is proudly, he's coming out as authoritarian. He's already done it, but he's reaffirming it. To go through some other moments from this speech, one of the worst. Remember that I do think this could go down as thus far his most dangerous speech. Well, I guess you have the January 6th one. Okay, not the one where he sized them up. Aside from that one of his most dangerous ones. But remember that the Justice Department is supposed to act independently from the president. Yes, the president selects an attorney general. But once that process happens, you're supposed to then let law be enforced and not put your finger on the scale as the Justice Department enforces the law. It's why Biden went to these crazy lengths to keep himself independent from any of the federal cases against Trump, to keep himself independent from the federal case against his son, the probe into his classified documents thing. Because he respected the Justice Department. And now, and then they would criticize, and now Trump is giving a highly partisan, politicized, and dangerous speech in front of the people after he has pushed out a bunch of people who aren't loyal to him in the Justice Department. And what he's saying is so insane that you heard there was no reaction. At different points when he would say, I survived the assassination too, there was clapping and cheers. So there is a crowd there that could react. They're silent as he's saying these threats, even if to them it's stunning. Here he applauds himself for doing what authoritarians do, which is give the promise to people who will do violence on their behalf that they will help them get away with it.
Please convict me, don't say that. I pardoned hundreds of political prisoners who had been grossly mistreated. We removed the senior FBI officials who misdirected resources to send SWAT teams after grandmothers and J6 hostages, and it was a
slurring there too. We J6 hostages, and then this.
My administration stripped the security clearances of the disgraced intelligence agents who lied about Hunter Biden's laptop from hell. We revoked the clearances of deranged Jack Smith, Alvin Bragg, Letitia James, and the crooked law firms that aided their partisan persecutions.
Why is he talking like that? Partisan persecutions. He is bragging about how he's already taken unprecedented acts to punish his political opponents. People who did their job. They now get punished in Trump's America.
But in the end, the thugs failed and the truth won. Freedom won, justice won, democracy won, and above all, the American people won. There could be no more heinous betrayal of American values than to use the law to terrorize the innocent and reward the wicked. And that's what they were doing at a level.
And so this is also a key characteristic of authoritarian leaders, is often there's this thick, heavy projection, which is to say, I'm doing these anti-democratic things to save democracy. I'm breaking the law to save the law. Trump literally posted that Napoleon quote, "He who saves his country is not breaking the law." Even if they're breaking the law, is the subtext. And those who I'm weaponizing the Justice Department against weaponize the Justice Department. And that's how you give yourself sort of on the PR end justification, because you're saying, no, we're undoing the politicization. That's why it's okay. Or it's the corruption of media outlets that justifies us corruptly going after them against the First Amendment. The unprecedented harassment and attacks against CBS being the current most pressing example than this.
The American people have given us a mandate and really a far-reaching investigation is what they are demanding into the corruption of our system. And
yeah. So not only do we have to have this man, but we also have to have a villain like this who really struggles with the English language.
The American people have given us a mandate and really a far-reaching investigation is what.
Yes, the American people gave you a far-reaching investigation.
Far-reaching investigation is what they are demanding into the corruption of our system, and that's exactly, I'm sure, what Pam and Cash and everyone else mentioned here and not mentioned is going to be doing. We will expel the rogue actors and corrupt forces from our government. We will expose and very much expose their egregious crimes and severe misconduct, of which was levels you've never seen anything like it. It's going to be legendary. It's going to also be legendary for the people that are able to seek it out and bring justice. We will restore the scales of justice in America, and we will ensure that such abuses never happen again in our country.
A truly, I'm at a loss for words to properly articulate this moment calmly. Chilling, destructive, catastrophic, all of the words. And he puts a cherry on top of that by saying this.
We were getting out because we wanted to get out, but we would have gotten out with dignity and strength. And what a difference a rigged and crooked election had on our country when you think about it. And the people who did this to us should go to jail. They should go to jail. So I just want to say God bless America, because we have to say God bless. We're lucky we're still here.
These people are sick. I want them to rot in hell. So God bless America. He there is saying the people who stole the election, so Democrats, he's wrong, but that's who he's alleging. Election workers, Biden, that's right, who's a part of that conspiracy. They should go to jail. And he's not just saying that to Melania at Mar-a-Lago. He's not just saying that on the golf course. He's saying that in front of the prosecutors, of the law enforcement, of the FBI director, who is a loyalist, and a bunch of loyalists, as all of those who maybe aren't hardcore loyalists have seen the firings of people, the abuses of people who dare to oppose any of Trump's intentions. And in front of them, he's saying the people who stole the election from me, my political opponents who have lied about that in regard to, they should go to jail. So it's the media, illegal when they speak out against me. You speak out against a judge that was doing me favors, that's illegal. You beat me in an election, that's illegal. As this is coming out of my mouth, my automatic sort of little, sensor of hyperbole prevention is going, check, is that hyperbolic? Because that sounds absolutely crazy. But then it's all the exact words he's saying. That's what he said. So my question is to the MAGAs out there. How do you defend this, really? We already knew enough, but from this point on, for sure, you cannot say you like the Constitution, you like the First Amendment, any of that. You value freedom of the press, you value an independent Justice Department, any of it. If you support him, not at all. You can't, in good faith. He's telling you that you can't. Imagine if Biden came out. Okay, we're going to be talking about this a lot over the coming years, but imagine if Biden came out and said Fox News is illegal as he was opening up investigations into a bunch of conservative outlets. Or as his FCC was. As he was trying to force through the prevention of a merger money to be paid to him by some, Newsmax comparable to CBS. That's what's happening here. MAGA would lose their mind justifiably so if that was Biden, and they're not going to care about this. And so add to the list of threats, add to the list of reasons that it's horrifying Trump is our president, that he's now so openly in front of the people who would be tasked with doing so, threatening his political opponents. They said it wasn't. Do you know how many times I would go on Piers Morgan? Come on, no, Trump's not going to do a thing of retribution. It's not going to be about that. He just actually said that. He's president now, and he's doing it. Share your thoughts in the comments.